Have you ever pondered about the roots of our civilization, the genesis of our traditions and culture? Today, we journey back in time to around 1,500 years before Christ to the dawn of the Vedic period. This was a time of great change following the collapse of the mighty Indus Valley civilization, one of the world's first urban cultures. As the old ways crumbled, new seeds were sown, heralding the onset of an era that would leave an indelible mark on the history of the Indian subcontinent. Enter the Aryans, a nomadic tribe from the northwest who crossed the mighty Himalayas into the fertile plains of the subcontinent. With them, they brought a new language, Sanskrit, and a new pantheon of gods, setting the stage for a cultural revolution. But this was not a one-way street. As the Aryans settled, they absorbed elements from the indigenous cultures, resulting in a remarkable amalgamation. This cultural fusion marked the genesis of the Vedic Age, a period that saw the birth of some of the most enduring elements of Indian culture. The Vedic period was not just about new gods and a new language. It was about a new way of life, a new worldview. It was a time of exploration and expression, of questioning and seeking. The air was thick with the hum of Vedic hymns, the rustle of sacred texts, and the murmur of philosophical debates. And it wasn't just about high philosophy and spiritual quests. The Vedic Age was also a time of social and political transformation. As the Aryans spread across the subcontinent, they established new kingdoms and societies, creating the blueprint for the complex social structure that would define India for centuries to come. This was a period that saw the birth of ideas and beliefs that are still integral to Indian culture today, from the sacred rituals of Hinduism to the philosophical musings of the Upanishads. And thus began an epoch that would shape the future of the Indian subcontinent, the Vedic period. Imagine a time when knowledge was passed down orally, preserved in the minds of the learned, and recited to the rhythm of hymns. This was the time of the Vedas, four ancient texts that served as the bedrock of Indian society during the Vedic period. The oldest and most important of these is the Rig Veda, a collection of over 1,000 hymns dedicated to the gods. These hymns were sung by the rishis, or sages, to pay homage to the divine and invoke their blessings. The Rig Veda is not just a religious text, but also a historical document that provides us with glimpses into the life, culture, and beliefs of the people of that time. Next in line is the Samaveda, often referred to as the Veda of melodies. The Samaveda is unique as it consists mainly of verses taken from the Rig Veda but set to music. This musical rendition of the hymns was a crucial aspect of the ritualistic performances of the period. The third Veda, the Yajurveda, is the book of rituals. It provides detailed instructions for the conduct of various religious ceremonies and sacrifices. The Yajurveda underscores the importance of rituals in maintaining social order and appeasing the gods. Last but not least, we have the Atharva Veda, a fascinating amalgamation of hymns, spells, and charms. It stands apart from the other three Vedas as it delves into the realms of magic and medicine, offering a window into the everyday concerns and fears of the people. These four Vedas were central to the socio-religious fabric of society. They guided people's actions, shaped their beliefs, and influenced their understanding of the world. And while they are the oldest scriptures of Hinduism, their influence extends beyond religion. The Vedas are also significant literary and philosophical works that have shaped Indian thought, language, and culture. These timeless texts continue to influence Indian philosophy, culture, and traditions even today. What would you say if you were to witness a society structured around rituals, religion, and social stratification? That's the question we're going to answer as we delve into the societal structure of the Vedic period. The Vedic society was a fascinating mix of structure and spirituality. It was divided into four main classes, or varnas, each with its own unique role and function. At the top of the hierarchy were the Brahmins, the priests and scholars, the custodians of religious rituals, and the interpreters of sacred texts. Their role was critical, for they had the power to communicate with the divine, a power that was deemed essential for the well-being of the society. Next were the kshatriyas, the warriors and rulers. Their duty was to protect society and ensure its smooth functioning. The kshatriyas were the defenders of the realm, the protectors of the people, and the enforcers of the law. The third class was the vaishyas, the farmers, merchants, and artisans. They were the backbone of the economy, cultivating the land, trading goods, and producing crafts. The prosperity of the society depended largely on their hard work and enterprise. At the bottom of the hierarchy were the shudras, the servants and laborers. Their role was to serve the other three classes, performing tasks that were considered beneath the dignity of the Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. But the Vedic society was more than just a rigid hierarchy. It was a society deeply rooted in rituals and sacrifices. These were seen as the glue that held society together, the means by which the divine could be appeased and the cosmic order maintained. Rituals ranged from the simple daily offerings to the grand yajnas, complex ceremonies that could last for days. In this society, every action, every role, every ritual had a purpose and a meaning. It was a society where the spiritual and the material were intertwined, where the divine was seen not as distant and detached, but as an integral part of daily life. The Vedic society was a complex structure of hierarchy and rituals, a society unlike any other. Can you envision an economy where cattle were the primary currency and barter was the mode of trade? Welcome to a glimpse of the Vedic economy, where simplicity was the order of the day and trade was rooted deeply in necessity. Agriculture was the backbone of the Vedic economy. The fertile lands along the Indus and the Ganges rivers were tilled to yield crops like barley, wheat, and rice. The Vedic people were skilled farmers who understood the rhythm of the seasons and the necessity of rain. The importance of agriculture in their lives was further etched in the Vedic hymns that prayed for bountiful harvests and protection from droughts and pests. Now, let's talk about the cattle. Imagine a time when the wealth of a person was not counted in gold or silver, but in the number of cows they owned. In the Vedic economy, cattle were not just a measure of wealth, but also a primary currency. They were the means of subsistence, providing milk and butter, and they also played a significant role in religious rituals. The more cattle a person owned, the wealthier they were considered. Trade in the Vedic era was not about profit margins or market shares. It was a simple exchange of goods based on need, otherwise known as a barter system. A potter might exchange his pots for a farmer's grains, or a weaver might trade his cloth for a blacksmith's tools. This system was built on mutual trust and cooperation, fostering a sense of community among the Vedic people. As the Vedic period progressed, we see the early signs of urbanization. The agrarian societies started to evolve into towns, suggesting the beginnings of trade on a larger scale. However, the essence of the Vedic economy, agriculture, cattle, and barter, remained integral to their way of life. From pastoral tribes to agrarian societies, the Vedic economy was a reflection of the times, a testament to the simplicity of life and the resourcefulness of the people. The Vedic economy was an embodiment of their values and their understanding of the world around them. What if I told you that the echoes of the Vedic period can still be heard in modern India? The Vedic period, a fascinating epoch, has left an indelible mark on the tableau of Indian history, its influence permeating the very fabric of the Indian subcontinent. This era, steeped in intellectual and spiritual enlightenment, gave birth to a plethora of concepts, philosophies, and ideologies that continue to shape the contours of Indian thought and culture. The Vedic period's philosophical notions are not mere historical relics. They are living, breathing entities, encapsulated in the tenets of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, religions that originated during this time and continue to be practiced by millions today. These philosophies underscore the pursuit of truth, the importance of duty, and the interconnectedness of all life, principles that remain relevant in the 21st century. The social structure that took shape during the Vedic period, with its intricate caste system, has evolved over the centuries. Yet, its remnants are still discernible in the stratification of Indian society, a testament to the enduring influence of the Vedic age. The Vedic period was not only a time of spiritual and philosophical awakening, but also a golden age for literature, science, and the arts. The hymns of the Vedas, composed during this era, are not just religious texts, but also historical and scientific documents, providing insights into the astronomical, mathematical, and medical knowledge of the time. The art of the Vedic age, with its symbolic motifs, continues to inspire contemporary Indian art and architecture. In terms of culture, the Vedic period laid the foundation for many customs and traditions that are integral to Indian society today. From the sacred rituals of Hinduism to the classical music and dance forms, the echoes of the Vedic period reverberate in the cultural heartbeat of modern India. The Vedic period, a time of great intellectual and spiritual awakening, continues to reverberate through the corridors of Indian history. Do like, share, and subscribe our channel for more content.